Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your goals? You're not alone. It's a common experience to feel a sense of enormity when we're faced with ambitions that seem large or distant. It's like standing at the base of a mountain, looking up at the peak that's shrouded in clouds, and wondering how on earth we're going to make it to the top. Let's take a moment to consider the story of Clayton Kershaw, a pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. On a fateful day in April, Kershaw had a perfect game within his grasp. 7 innings of flawless baseball with the opportunity to make history. But instead of pushing ahead for the glory of a singular achievement, he chose to step back. He prioritized his health and the broader success of his team over the pursuit of a personal milestone. He understood that the bigger picture was more important than a moment of individual triumph. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't play professional baseball. How does this apply to me? Well, think about it. We all have our own perfect game scenarios. Those moments where we're tempted to push ourselves to the limit, even when we know it might not be the best decision in the long run. It could be working late hours to meet a work deadline at the expense of our health and relationships. Or it could be obsessing over a minor detail in a project, losing sight of the overall objective. What Kershaw's story teaches us is this: it's okay to step back. It's okay to acknowledge that our health, our well-being, and the bigger picture are more important than any single goal. It's about understanding that success is not just about ticking off boxes on a to-do list. It's about thriving, not just surviving. When we focus on the bigger picture, we can navigate the complexities of our goals without feeling overwhelmed. We can make decisions that are in our best interest, even if it means letting go of a perfect game. After all, as Kershaw showed us, there are victories beyond personal records that are worth striving for. Just as Kershaw prioritized his health and team success, we too can choose to focus on the bigger picture when pursuing our goals. But what if the traditional ways of reaching your goals don't seem to work for you? Well, you're not alone. There are many alternative strategies you might consider, and today, we're going to look at 3 of them. Imagine for a moment a couple who, despite their best efforts, just couldn't stick to traditional budgeting methods. They found themselves constantly off track, frustrated, and feeling like their goals were slipping away. Sound familiar? Well, don't fret, because they found a way around it. Their first strategy was goal setting. Each month, they set aside a specific amount of money towards their financial goals. This wasn't about depriving themselves of the little luxuries in life, but about setting clear, tangible targets and working towards them consistently. The second strategy was aligning their financial goals with their spending priorities. They made sure their bills were paid first, then allocated money towards their goals and discretionary expenses. It wasn't about cutting out the things they loved, but about making smart spending decisions that reflected their ultimate goals. The third strategy was tracking their finances. This didn't mean obsessively checking their bank balances every 5 minutes. Instead, they set up regular check-ins and alerts for incoming and outgoing transactions, keeping them aware of their financial situation at all times. These strategies might not fit the conventional definition of a budget, but they worked for this couple. And that's the key takeaway here. Traditional methods are great, but they're not the only way. If they're not working for you, don't be afraid to try something different. Experiment with different strategies until you find what works best for you. Remember, the path to achieving your goals doesn't have to be conventional. It's about finding what works best for you. So, be brave, be creative, and most importantly, be persistent. Your goals are within reach and you have the power to achieve them. Ever heard of a dream sheet? It might just be the tool you need to reach your goals. Let's dive into the inspiring journey of Jeanette Adams. Once laid off from her job and buried under $50,000 in debt, Adams chose to take control of her life through a simple yet powerful tool: a dream sheet. This wasn't just any sheet, it was a tangible representation of her short-term, intermediate, and long-term goals. It became her roadmap to financial freedom and personal fulfillment. But what is a dream sheet? Just imagine a canvas where you paint your aspirations, from the immediate ones to those spanning years into the future. It's a visual representation of your dreams, something you can touch, see, and revisit daily. It's a constant reminder of what you're striving for, a beacon guiding you through the fog of daily life. Now, achieving these goals wasn't just a matter of setting them, it required a change in habits, a new way of approaching her financial life. Adams implemented new money habits and a spending plan, steps that were pivotal in her journey towards debt-free living and achieving her dreams. Remember, your goals don't have to be monumental to be meaningful. Adams' goals ranged from paying off her debt to planning a trip to Costa Rica. Each success, no matter how small, fuels the motivation to reach the next. But here's the crucial part. She didn't keep it all to herself. She shared her goals, her plans, her dream sheet with her loved ones. Not only did this add a layer of accountability, but it also provided her with a support system, a network of cheerleaders championing her every step of the way. This story is testament to the power of goal setting and the transformational impact of new habits. It's not just about dreaming big, but also about taking small, consistent steps towards those dreams. It's about changing the way we view our finances, our habits, and ultimately, our lives. Setting and achieving goals is not just about planning, but also about changing our habits and mindset. You don't have to do it alone. In fact, sharing your goals can be a powerful motivator. This is not just a saying, it's a proven tactic used by Jeanette Adams, who turned her financial life around by creating a dream sheet and sharing it with her friends and family. Adams realized that having a support system was not just helpful, it was essential. When you share your goals, you're making a commitment, not just to yourself, but to those around you. You're saying, I'm going to achieve this, and I want you to hold me accountable. It's a bold move, but one that can pay off in a big way. Just think about it. When you're facing a challenge, isn't it easier to overcome it when you have someone cheering you on, offering advice, or even just lending a listening ear? That's the power of a support system. It provides a safety net, a source of encouragement, and a reminder that you're not alone in your journey. But it's not just about accountability, it's also about inspiration. When Adams shared her dream sheet, she wasn't just seeking accountability, she was also providing inspiration to those around her. She was showing them what's possible, sparking their own dreams, and encouraging them to take their own steps towards their goals. Having a support system also means having a group of people who believe in you and your ability to achieve your goals. This can be a massive boost to your confidence and motivation. After all, if they believe in you, why shouldn't you? So don't be afraid to share your goals, big or small. Find your support system, whether it's your family, friends, or a community of like-minded individuals. Share your journey, your successes, and yes, even your setbacks. Because when you open up about your goals, you're not just inviting others into your journey, you're also inviting success. Sharing your goals with others not only holds you accountable, but also provides a network of support and encouragement. Remember, no goal is too big or too small, and no journey is too challenging when you have the power of support. Fear and stigma can often hold us back from discussing our goals, especially when it comes to finances. It's like a shadow that looms over us, muffling our voices and dimming our dreams. But let's take a moment to reflect on the story of Jeanette Adams, a mom and entrepreneur who dared to face her financial fears head-on. Adams found herself in a daunting situation, grappling with $50,000 in debt. But did she let fear and stigma paralyze her? No. She chose to speak about it openly, to confront it, and most importantly, to act upon it. She created a dream sheet, a tangible manifestation of her goals, and it became her beacon in the storm. And this is where the power of overcoming fear and stigma comes into play. Adams didn't just keep her goals to herself, she shared them. She discussed her financial plans openly, not just with her loved ones, but with the world. She encourages us all to do the same, to lift the veil of silence that often shrouds our financial goals. Why? Because there's strength in numbers. Many of us are in the same boat, facing similar challenges, struggling with the same fears. And there's no shame in it. There's no shame in seeking help, in seeking advice, in seeking support. So let's break free from the chains of fear and stigma. Let's talk about our goals, our plans, our dreams. Let's share them with the world. Let's be brave enough to ask for help when we need it, and wise enough to offer it when we can. Remember, discussing your goals and challenges is not a sign of weakness, but a step towards achieving your dreams. So step forward, speak up, and let's make those dreams a reality.